What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Making the Difference. My name's Ryan. I'm the host here. I started this company, this idea, a little over a year ago. It's been progressing as a social media brand, a personal brand, the idea of making the difference in the world. We're all different, and that's really, really cool. So it's just been a lot growing. That's a little bit about, what's going on here. I wanted to first say thank you for all the support that I've had. Everybody that's listening to the show, I appreciate it. There's a lot of great content that's coming into these shows, a lot of great value in there. And if you find any value, share the show. Text your friend, tell a friend, tell your family, tell your spouse. If you don't want to post about it on your social media, there's easy ways that are, before social media happened, we were just talking. So talk to a friend, tell a friend, hey, this is what Ryan's doing. Hey, have you heard about Ryan and the difference? And share the show. Tell your friends. Like I said, I had created this company about a year ago, and it's a big social media brand that I'm trying to build, that I am building. And you can find me on Instagram at The Difference. You can find me on TikTok at The Difference. Facebook, I have a Facebook group if you wanted to join. A little bit underactive on that one, but I've been really building the social media awareness and social media brand up for the past few months. It's been a very key target of my goals. So that being said, go follow me on those, and you can see a lot of the daily content that I'm doing versus a weekly podcast. Also, I have an upcoming podcast that I'm going to be releasing. Not this one, obviously, but my first special guest podcast. That'll be out within a week or so. So stay tuned. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, hit the follow button or the subscribe button on YouTube. Spotify has that as well. Make sure that you're followed and you're subscribed. That way you know when that next podcast will be coming out. And then you're not searching, it just makes it easier. Make sure you're followed. So that being said, let's get into this meat of the podcast. Recently, I started, as some of you may know, if you've listened to my last podcast, or if you follow me on my social media, you would know that I completed 75 hard. I talked about it in my last podcast, whether it was worthy or futile, and I didn't know if, what to make of it. And obviously, I'm very vocal about, the benefits of 75 hard and the mental fortitude that you gain from it. And it was awesome. And then there's the next step to 75 hard, which I recently did just start. It's called Phase 1. It's part of this whole program, the Live Hard program. 75 Hard is basically like the intro to the Live Hard program. You have your, double workouts, one of them outside. You have your 10 pages of reading a day, your gallon of water, all this good stuff, right? And then the Live Hard builds upon that. So in Phase 1, Live Hard, let me just explain Live Hard. So you got Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3. Phase 1 is 30 more days of 75 hard with more things, with more tasks. And Phase 2 is back to the regular 75 hard, 30 days. And Phase 3 is Phase 1 with more tasks. So there's a lot to it, and it all needs to be completed within a year. So right now I'm in Phase 1. And I just started a couple days ago. Phase 1, it's 2 workouts a day. You have your 10 pages of reading. You have no cheat meals, no alcohol, and you're following a diet, a gallon of water a day, taking a progress picture every day. So you have all those, and then you build upon that with Phase 1. We're adding a 5-minute cold shower every day. We have 10 minutes of active visualization. And then we add 3 more critical tasks that you must complete. It's part of your power list. And I started my power list this month in November. I was slacking off in the beginning without doing Phase 1. I was not really hitting them. And now, during Phase 1, I've been on top of it. This is going to be day 2 completed. And I hope to finish phase 1, easy peasy and get through it, no mistakes. So that's phase 1. And it's the 5-minute cold shower has been one of the hardest ones of both days. I hate cold showers. I don't know about you guys, but the cold showers is just absolutely just horrendous. And then 5 minutes on top of that, it just seems so long, and I'm just waiting for that timer to go off. Not fun. Yesterday on my day 1 of phase 1, I hopped in the cold shower and I had this biggest epiphany, or just random thought. Not even random. It correlates completely, where I was at Camp Geronimo as a Boy Scout. Boy Scouts was fucking phenomenal. It actually teaches you a lot of these skills that I'm now learning again as an adult, but it's teaching them in ways that kids can understand, or adults can understand too. There's a lot of things that the Boy Scouts did for me that were great. There's, troop leaders that, you basically have a boss, and then you can become that troop leader once you have done put in your time, and it's just a foundation for how you should be acting in life. And I was in Camp Geronimo. I went very young, to be honest. It was I think I went as young as 6 years old, but the times I'm talking about were closer to like 10, 11, 12, maybe 12, 13. And you go to Camp Geronimo. I don't know if this happens at all camps or not, but Camp Geronimo, it's in the middle of the summer, and you're up in Payson, Arizona, like Pine, a little bit, like you're in like Tonto National Forest, I think. I don't know exactly. I know it's like in between Payson and Pine, or a little bit past Pine, Strawberry, somewhere in there. And it's in the middle of the summer, and you get up every day. You're up there for a week, right? And every day you get up, I think it's like for at least a week, right? I think it's 5 days that you do it. You get up at the butt crack of dawn. It's like literally like 6 a.m. And everybody wakes you up. You get woken up. You sit around the campfire, and you get everybody ready, and you put on your swim trunks, and you walk down to the pool. It's about like maybe half a mile from the campsite that we were at, and you walk down to the pool. And you think that it's in the middle of the summer in Arizona, the pool would be, decently warm. It's got to be like, not too bad. But it's called the polar bear swim for a reason. You walk down to the pool, and everybody lines up, everybody's doing it, and you jump in the pool, and you do one lap. It's not even a lap. You do one way across. You get in the pool, you swim, you can fucking walk if you wanted to. But that water is freezing cold. It's like probably 60-degree water, 60-degree water, and it's just so cold, and you just get it done, and you hop out, and you have your towel ready on the other side, and you just, warm yourself back up, and you're like, damn, I crushed that shit. And I remember the first year, I just really didn't want to do it. I think I may have even skipped out on one of the days. And you get this cool little patch if you do all the days, right? And it's like called the Polar Bear Club, and it goes around your patch as a Camp Geronimo patch. Really cool. I mean, hindsight, really cool. Even cool as a kid, but I had this epiphany of just like, wow, it's like very close to the same thing that I'm doing right now. I'm getting in this cold shower for 5 minutes. 5 minutes is nothing of my time right now. It's like less than 1% of my time, or maybe even 1% of my day. And that portion, that one stride or one lap or whatever, half a lap, is so minuscule, but as a kid, it seems so much worse, right? And you just get it done. I had this epiphany that, wow, that was very cool of me to do that as a kid. All of a sudden, I was about 13, 14, and I couldn't, quote unquote, progress anymore through the Boy Scouts. I wasn't, quote unquote, allowed to keep going as far as my badges, or maybe not my badges, but my rank up, right? And I didn't understand why I had to put the time in, why I had to wait to be the next rank. I'm hitting all these merit badges just back to back to back. I'm just learning. And I've always been like that. I just have like a very big knowledge intake. But like the time is very important as well. Just doing the due diligence of all of this, right? 75 days for a reason. It's not, okay, do these tasks for 30 days. Oh, wow, you can do it. Good job at doing double workouts for 30 days. No, 75 days is the timeline. 6 months of being in that rank is the timeline. Being in that rank for a year, being 16 years old versus being 13 years old is the timeline. You need to have the time behind you to understand these, fundamental things. And I didn't understand that at that point, right? I didn't have the time behind me. I didn't understand. And it was easier for me to just quit. And I quit. I quit the Boy Scouts. I ranked up pretty close to Eagle Scout, but I wasn't allowed to continue. Like the troop wouldn't let me get my Eagle Scout until like, I think I was 16, but I was like 13. I just didn't understand why. I said, this is not cool. And I had this epiphany again in the shower that like, wow, why did I quit? Why didn't I just put the time in? Why did I quit? Because it was easier. Because as a kid, you're trying to do other things, right? I'm 13. I want to go to the movies with my friends I want to play video games on Monday night and not go to troop meetings. I don't want to lead anybody. I just want to just do my thing. Being lazy, right? And I had thought about it and I was like, wow, this is like one of the first times in my life that I can remember that I decided to quit. I was like, whoa, why did I quit? I think this created a snowball effect that allowed me to quit on a lot of things that I did throughout the years, up until recently, not putting my 100% effort in on, tasks. I, would play baseball for a little bit and I got to high school and I quit. I didn't want to play anymore. And, obviously there's other underlying reasons like going through puberty and understanding and developing other, skills and stuff like that. I was pretty good at video games at the time and that's where I wanted to put my attention to. But yeah, I quit. I let myself quit. What I'm understanding now is that your word is everything, right? The being honest with yourself creates so much more. Knowing that you're putting 100% effort in, 110% effort in, it creates so much more in the grand scheme of things. You're able to understand and build that cookie jar that I've talked about, that David Goggins talks about. You draw upon that power for next time. You know that you're not giving up at 50%. You know that you're not just bitching out and giving up, quitting. And I've started to learn that over the past, I would say, 6 months or so, even more than what I've learned over 27 years of my life, that my word is everything, not to everybody else, because everybody else, even though my word does mean a lot to everybody else, it doesn't mean as much as it does to me. I can tell a lie to somebody and it doesn't affect them like it would affect me. Now they would believe me, but I know that I lied. So who is that affecting more? If they believe me and I know I lied, it's hurting me. I lied. My word means more to me than it does to somebody else. And my main point about this podcast is don't lie to yourself. Don't quit on yourself. I knew I wanted to be in Boy Scouts. I wanted to do it, but I lied to myself because I was lazy. I quit on myself because I was lazy. And that's a very, like I said, I had that epiphany to where that was like one of the main turning points of my life up until recently. I would say that I was able to lie to myself about so many other things, saying that, oh, well, I don't want to put the time in here, or I'm not good enough to do it. I'm not, good enough to do this or that. And it really had a big impact on my life from quitting. And that's about it. I just think that everybody shouldn't lie to themselves. That's how you become a better person. Obviously don't lie to other people, but don't lie to yourself. So yeah, that's what I got for you guys. I mean, that was big turning point in my life, and I had that epiphany, and I was like, yo, I got to get this out there. This is a great story. This is a big turning point of my life, and I can imagine so many other people going through these same things. So, start off by, when you set a goal, finish your goal. When you tell yourself that you're going to do something, or that, you're in the process of doing something, do that thing 110%. Make sure that you're giving all your effort and not cheating yourself, because that's what it is. You're cheating yourself out of future progress, or out of progress now that affects you in the future. Don't lie to yourself. Don't cheat yourself. It's all wrapped up in one. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you listening to this podcast. Don't lie to yourselves. Make sure you're making a difference.